What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the NerdSkwaad podcast. I am Ghost.
What's up, guys? This is Geo, aka Raptor.
I'm crazy old Maurice.
Crazy old Maurice.
How did that come about?
This is a girl.
When I was a kid, my brothers and sisters would call me Maurice because it was like the boy equivalent to Marissa. And then one time we were watching Rocket Power, and that's the name of the Twister.
Yeah.
That's Twister's name, so they started calling me that because it was like his weird name. And then we watched Beauty and the Beast, and Gaston says it.
Crazy old Maurice.
Yeah. And it just kind of stuck.
I remember the episode of Rocket Power when they found out his name was Maurice.
Maurice!
He just got super depressed for the rest of the episode. It was awesome. Well, it wasn't awesome, but it was great. It was a great episode.
It's depression. It's awesome.
All right, and today we are talking let's be honest, we're just going to talk our feelings on Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you think, Geo?
Yeah, I'm still on the side of hating it, man. I don't really feel that it added much to the Star Wars lore. And my main points are pretty much the whole Luke dying scene. I can't agree with that. It's not as satisfying as I thought it was. And the whole minus the Leia death scene, which is what I was preparing for in the first place. But I'd really love to hear what Marissa's thoughts on it were.
The whole Leia thing I totally agree with because, I mean, after her death, you expect them to
Send her off, basically.
send her off.
Yeah, man. I thought it was going to
way.
happen at the ship when she got blown out to space, but
I think everybody going to see this movie just like saw the trailer and they're like, this is it.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's exactly what I thought. And when I saw her go into space after the explosion, I thought what I was hoping for was like she died and then maybe Kylo Ren like saw her body floating and like just couldn't take it and would go crazy.
Like save her or something?
In any way. I didn't care if he went crazy, not save her, but like just go crazy. Like even after Han Solo died and Snoke telling him like even after you killed your father, you still are split in two, like from the good side and the bad and whatever. Yeah. And I was just like hoping like that would do something to him that would just make him go crazy. Anything.
Well, Carlos had this really interesting theory about when Kylo sees that he could kill Leia, his mom. He doesn't really do it, but what sets him over the edge is that someone else does it, or what's the general's name?
Hux?
Yeah, fuck. I'm sorry. Yeah, that Hux blows up Leia, and that like turns him to want revenge in a way, and leads him more towards becoming the light side once again.
Yeah, but even then, like, he fucking takes over. He takes over the, what is it?
First Order.
The First Order. He takes over the First Order.
He becomes the Supreme Leader.
Yeah. But, yeah, I just, seeing her go into space like that, I was like, okay, like, I can deal with her, like, dying. At least she died, like, honorably.
Yeah.
You know, like, she stayed behind. She didn't try and, like, jump ship or anything like that.
She went out.
And then
I just got.
She goes out and she starts like freezing, and then she uses the Force, which I can get. I can understand that kind of, but they make her look like fucking Superman.
It makes it seem like the Force is magic or something. Like if it takes you out of the element that you're in Star Wars, and that there is this all being Force, and it's not really magic per se, but it is. I don't know. It just took me out of the movie.
Yeah,
it really did.
I agree with that because in Phantom Menace, they're like, oh, like Luke, he has the Force. It's like the strong. Yeah, sorry.
We know our shit, people.
I do. It's just like I'm going off into a rant again, and I feel it. But Anakin, like Qui-Gon Jinn, feels it, and like he has all this Force, but you don't see Anakin be able to do like one or two tricks. Like he doesn't know that he has it. He doesn't, you know, like...
He needs training.
Yeah,
he needs training to get it out, like, to be able to use the Force. And then here, Leia's just using it all willy-nilly. And yeah.
Well,
and
from when Luke and Leia discover that they're siblings and stuff, I mean, there's a 40-year gap afterwards.
Yeah.
So we don't know if Luke even trained her or, like, showed her, or how do you feel it?
Well, the thing is
Right.
about that is that after Return of the Jedi, after like the trilogy ended, he wanted her to be his first Jedi student, but she denied it because she needed to take over her spot in the Senate.
That's right.
But then people found out that she was Darth Vader's daughter, and they turned against her. So instead of becoming a part of the new Galactic Senate or whatever they were going to start, she started the Resistance because they were all against her. Once she found out that the First Order was starting to,
Damn.
yeah, once she found out that the First Order was starting to happen, she started the Resistance because nobody else would side with her.
Yeah, she brings up a good point. I also didn't like how the Force is now more so accessible to normal people. I mean, it used to be that you had to go through years and years of Jedi training just to be, just to realize the Force could be used for good or evil. But yeah, they had like even students from like young kids training to use the Force, and I don't really like how in this new kind of adaptation to what Star Wars is, anyone can use the Force. Anyone can pick up a lightsaber and just go ham on it.
It's been Disney-fied.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened.
Anything that came after the original trilogies or even the prequels, like all the books that came out, all the comic books and stuff like that, is considered non-canon because Disney says it's not. You know, Disney decided like the only things that we are going to decide is canon is what we say. And so all the books that came out, all the comic books, even the TV shows, some of them are like, they come out with all these stories which tell so much, and it's like, oh yeah, like don't count that.
And they're just like flipping through papers. No,
there's no midi-chlorians. No, fuck that.
Yeah,
but
pretty much.
And then like right here we're talking about the Force, like everyone's like it's accessible. Well, I mean, like they made it such a big deal. Like you had to like live by like a Force tree or like the kyber crystals and things like that. It's like why is so many people like getting it now when before like you had to be like, I don't know, special, like born from it.
Yeah,
I don't know, there's just so many, like the kid at the end of Last Jedi, like
he just uses the Force to grab the broom.
Like that just reminded me of the scene from Break-In where he's like cleaning up.
There's no stopping us.
Exactly. But like not who is he? Like, are they trying to build that kid, or is it just the idea of anything and anyone?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I like that. Only because, to me, the Star Wars films have always been about the Skywalker lineage. The prequels, we get Anakin, and then we know what happens to him. He becomes Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Then we get Luke and Leia. And then now, I mean, the only person in this new trilogy that's Skywalker is Ben Solo.
Yeah.
But they made him the bad guy, and I don't think that's justice.
No, it's not.
It's the Skywalker lineage. I don't know. Though I do like Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is a badass. He's one of my favorite villains. But
well, yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
When Force Awakens came out, how like people hated him at first, and I was like, how can you hate him? Like he seems stronger than Darth Vader. I mean, you've never seen Darth Vader stop a bullet mid shot,
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
and then talk to people like it was no big deal, and he's just like, oh, like hey,
chilling.
you're like, oh, sup.
What's up, man? How you doing?
And then like little like details, like the fact like when that scene when he goes to Poe Dameron to Rey, and he puts his helmet in those ashes. Those are actually the ashes of his enemies. So like,
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a little fact. But like, so he puts his helmet down and you see all these ashes. Like, how many people did this motherfucker kill? Like, like they just made him this badass. And the fact that when he gets shot by Chewbacca and he's fighting Finn and Rey, like he's just like pounding his fucking like stomach.
Yeah, that was the what makes me think that why people don't think that he's so, or why Snoke doesn't think that he is so powerful like as much as Darth Vader is because when Darth Vader was Darth Vader, he was just all dark side, you know, like he didn't turn back to the light until, you know, to Luke, and you know, like all of that is just. And he's struggling still to decide like what side he's on. I mean, he keeps saying like I'm on the dark side, I'm on the dark side, I'm on the dark side. But then he does shit that makes him have the light.
It's like my mind's telling me no,
but my body.
That's basically what's happening with him. He's being like when he's crying to Han Solo, he's like, "Am I being torn apart?" Like like you felt that, and you're like,
part of that was legit.
That's why that's the only reason why I'm thinking like Snoke thinks that he's weak. That's the only reason, because everything else, he's strong as fuck.
Hell yeah.
But when it comes to that, he can't decide what he wants.
All right, so on the last episode of the podcast, I brought up a story about a friend who asked one of her students like what they thought about Uncharted 4, and
Marissa.
Oh yeah, well I'm just
Crazy old Maurice is my name.
Sorry.
So we have her in studio. This is Maurice. Okay. No, but yeah, this is her telling of her story.
Last year, I started working with kids at school, and basically what I do is I just help them catch up to their grade level. So if like in their 4th grade and they're at a 3rd grade level in reading, I'm trying to catch them up. Anyways, what tends to work for me with the kids who don't like doing stuff like that, I talk to them about video games, because that's one thing I tend to always have in common with these kids is video games. And the more I talk to these kids, you tend to see that their gaming only consists of multiplayer.
Fortnite.
Yeah, stuff like that. Call of Duty, Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege.
Hey, that was dope.
Yeah, all good games, but that's all that these kids play. They don't play the stories anymore, you know, like. And this kid came up to me and loved this kid because he was like on point with his games, you know, like I could talk to him for days about video games. And yeah, so he was looking for a new game and he didn't want to play Six Siege anymore. So I told him, "Have you played Uncharted?" And he goes, "No, I'll play it." So literally a day later, he comes back and he tells me, "Uncharted 4 sucks." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, it sucks." And I was like, "Okay, hold on. Something must have went wrong here. How far did you get in the game?" And he was like, "I didn't get anywhere." And I was like, "Wait, what do you mean you didn't get anywhere?" And he was like, "Well, I mean, I did the mission." And I was like, whoa, what? And he was like, "I played the mission. I went to the tower and I did whatever. And I beat the other team." And I was like, "That's not at all what I meant when I said play Uncharted. I meant play the story." And he's like, "Nobody plays the story. Nobody wants to play the story." And I was like, "What?" And I almost flipped the damn table.
I almost flipped the damn table. And I was like, "You don't understand." I told him too. Like, I was about to go off on him. I was like, I calmed myself down. I was like, "Okay, number 1, you're 10. And number 2."
Yeah, so they probably shouldn't have played that game.
And I was like, "Number 2, do you only play multiplayer games?" And he was like, "Yeah, I only play online." And I was like, "Okay, well, there's your problem. Uncharted 4 is a great game. It has a great story, and it's a really good game." And he was just like, "But I don't want to play the story. I only want to play online." And it bummed me out because I feel like a lot of game creating companies like Naughty Dog or EA or anything like that aren't gonna want to make stories anymore for video games. And if they do, I feel like it's because they have to, like kind of how it was with Star Wars Battlefront 2. I watched the gameplay on the story mode and it looked amazing. The graphics were amazing, but the story wasn't that great to me. Watching the gameplay of it, it wasn't that great. And for him to tell me like a great game like Uncharted 4 was crap when he didn't even play the game made me mad. And that's how it's gonna be with these kids growing up with video games, you know, like when we were growing up we only had stories.
Yeah,
you know?
We had single player games.
Yeah, we had single player games, you know, like the best we had for multiplayer games was Mario Kart and Smash Brothers.
Or Mario Party.
Or Mario Party is too. And, you know, like that was it for us, you know, like that's all we had. They didn't have like internet back then. And that's something that the kids aren't gonna understand because, you know, like they have access to all this stuff
like
that we didn't have.
Our multiplayer was someone had to be literally right next to you. Like
seriously, like it wasn't like you could be in the other room and just play with your brother who's in the room next to you, and like no split screen. We had to have that split screen. Mario Kart, all split screen.
A lot of people. I remember like we would cheat. Like I know where you are. I'm just pretending you're not like around this corner.
Pretending I didn't see anything
with the balloons. Fucking half the time when you're racing too, like you would be looking at the wrong screen. You know, like you think you're like, oh fuck yeah, like I'm in
the first place. And you look at the bottom screen, you're just like
ramming into walls and fucking on Donkey Kong's track, you're in the water. But like yeah, they didn't get that when we didn't get that when we were kids. We didn't get multiplayer like that where it was online. We didn't have online. It didn't even exist back then. And it sucks because even though Uncharted 4 did have really good sales and all that, like it sold really well, it was a great story, but I feel like in the future that it's kind of just gonna die down, like story modes, like they're not gonna be as creative with the storylines anymore, just because kids these days only play online. Man, and that's all that matters.
I'm hoping you're wrong.
So am I, but I'm praying that I'm wrong too.
I am praying so hard for Last of Us 2.
Yes,
because dude, Naughty Dog, their story writers, like they're
amazing.
They've done a great job. I mean, just look at the story. Just like this is ridiculous, and it's like. Just think of the story for Crash Bandicoot, the first one.
I bought it today.
Yeah,
he play that shit.
Nice.
Like just think about it. Like you find out who Crash is, and then you find out the villain, and you gotta play these levels. Why? Because you were transferred there by this villain.
Yeah.
Even that had a story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you had to have stories back then. You couldn't just throw you into the game and just be like, go.
Like kill some dudes. Like how?
Yeah.
Why?
What's the purpose of that? No, you have everything had a purpose. Like Darlene got me Crash Bandicoot the trilogy, the new one for PS4.
What?
Yeah, she got that for me for Christmas, and I started playing it when she was at college for her classes, and I was just like, "There's a story to this." Like, I didn't play Crash Bandicoot when I was a kid. My cousin had it, and we played it there, but that was the only time I ever got to play it. I didn't see the story. It was just like my cousin was like, oh, like you have to do this. And I was like, oh, okay. I was a kid. I didn't understand. But watching it today, or playing it today, I saw that it had a story in the beginning, and it tripped me out because, you don't...
Like, I thought this was just an obstacle course.
Yeah, like, that's how I saw it when I was a kid because I didn't know any better. But now, I'm looking at it, and I'm like... These kids don't need a story. They don't want a story. They don't care about a story. All they have to do, they can go into Star Wars and not know anything about it, and they can just go start killing people because of multiplayer, because that's what you're supposed to do in multiplayer, just beat the other team. And it's
run and gun.
Yeah, it's run and gun, and that's what people want to do, and I'm okay with that. But I love story mode. I don't like multiplayer. A good story
really makes the game.
Yeah.
Like you want to care for these characters,
exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what really separated good games back when we were growing up, depending on the story.
Yeah.
That's why games like Final Fantasy VII has always stood the test of time, and it's always still talked about as one of the best stories. I was telling Carlos earlier today that I'm replaying Final Fantasy VIII, and even though I passed that fucker couple times in my lifetime, it still feels new and fresh to me, and I'm excited to play it. And I get that from when I was playing Last of Us. So I have high hopes for Last of Us 2 when it comes out.
Yeah.
I also have really high hopes for Red Dead.
Yes.
I haven't even played the first one.
Oh my God.
What's wrong with you?
Well, I didn't have a PS3 for a long time, and when I did get PS3,
get in the car.
The first game that
we're gonna start.
The first game that I got for the PS3 was literally The Last of Us. Carlos talked about it, and I was like, Carlos had talked about it one time, and I was like, I'm getting a PS3. I had an Xbox 360, and I played all of Call of Duty because my brother had them, and some Assassin's Creed, and I played BioShock, which was a great one. BioShock pulled me in for gaming. That wasn't the first one I played because I honestly my hardcore gaming experience started with the 360. I had the 3DS and a bunch of games for the 3DS, but some of the games on there didn't get me hooked, like BioShock and The Last of Us did. So when I got my PS3 after the PS4 came out, because it was a lot cheaper, that was the first game that I bought. I had gotten both Kingdom Hearts for Christmas, and that was like,
nice.
I told my mom, like, I was like, Mom, get me the Kingdom Hearts games, and I didn't even have a PS3 yet, and I just wanted to have like them just to like, okay, now you have to get a PS3. And once I got the PS3, I didn't even play the Kingdom Hearts games because the first thing that was on my mind was The Last of Us, and I went to GameStop and I got it for $13, and I'm pretty sure I didn't sleep that night because I was hooked. And that's like, that game, it fucked me up. Like, dude, everything about it. Yeah. It messed me up.
It plays with your heartstrings. Very frequently. Or not frequently, but
just right out the gate, man. Like, he loses his daughter. Spoilers. And they're not even spoilers at this point, but he loses his daughter, and then he loses his girl, and then... Dead. Yeah. And then after that, they can't catch a break. Ever.
Like, everything just keeps turning to shit.
Yeah. Something goes wrong. And it's one of those games that even after, like, I played it 1,000 times, I will always go back to it and, like, never get old.
It doesn't get boring, right?
No, it doesn't. And
I love story mode.
That's how Uncharted is for me too. Like, I love Naughty Dog because those games, they fuck you up. Same thing with Uncharted. Like, I remember my brother's friend let him borrow his PS3, and my brother started to play Uncharted, and I remember we shared a room at that time, so I would watch him play, and I never got to play. But when I saw that the Uncharted collection came out on the PS4, then that was the one that got me, like, I'm getting a PS4 today. And I went on eBay and I got a PS4, brand new. And it came that next week, and I started playing that. And how it was with The Last of Us, I didn't sleep that night or that week because
you were just playing Uncharted. Like,
I was just playing Uncharted, like, the first Uncharted, and I was like, that was pretty cool. That was pretty legit. But then the opening scene for Uncharted 2 when he's on the train.
Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That opening sequence where you gotta climb.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That was an amazing part of the game, and like, I liked the first two because they were like kind of like a fantasy, like it was fantasy mixed with like reality, like he's a human, and then, you know, like the curse and whatever, and then the second one was like those fucking weird giant people, blue people, and whatever, and then the third one was kind of like getting more into like modern realistics. I kind of like that they did that. And I like the third one because that lady reminded me of Helen Mirren.
Yes.
And I loved her character. I'm a sucker for a good villain. She was a good villain, and then I think Rafe was my favorite villain. Rafe and Nadine. And, but yeah, it was just to hear that kid say, like, Uncharted sucked when I absolutely loved Uncharted 4. As soon as, when I got the Uncharted collection, I finished those, and Uncharted 4 was already out, so like as soon as I finished that, I went and I downloaded. I didn't even care to get the physical copy, and you know how I am with physical copies. I was like, I finished Uncharted 3, and it was like 12 o'clock at night, and I was like, fuck it, I'm getting the online one. I was like, there's no way Target's open right now. And you know, I didn't care, and I played it, and it was amazing. And for that kid to like be like, it sucked, just broke my heart.
You almost flipped the table.
Yeah.
On a kid.
On a kid. Honestly, like when I played Ocarina for the first time on my 3DS, I was able to do the entire game by myself until the water temple. And
that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Like, motherfuckers have gone out and like try to find like strategy guides for Ocarina of Time just because of the water temple.
Yeah, and if I did go on YouTube for any other reason, it was because of the side quest. Like, what side quest can I do now? And the water temple was where I would always have a hard time. But Breath of the Wild, I want to tell you like the whole story of it, but
please do
do it. Spoilers, just do it.
I mean, I'm not buying a Switch anytime soon. So
I'm not gonna buy a Switch.
Yeah, you guys need one because I tried to play Splatoon and nobody wants to play with me.
You need to get an Xbox so we can play Fortnite.
I know, but
would you play Fortnite?
I would play Fortnite. I want to get back into the multiplayer. I kind of got into it when the Xbox 360 was around. Here was my strategy for when I got into gaming. They came out with they were coming out with Xbox One and the PS4, and I wanted to get them, but at the same time I was like, I don't know what games to get. I don't know what games are good, but you know what I do know? That when those come out, the Xbox 360 and the PS3 are going to be cheap as fuck, and everybody's going to be selling them so they can get the PS4. And I got my Xbox I didn't even have to buy games for it because my little brother had all the games, and my PS3, they were always like 15 and under at GameStop used, so like the games, and I got my PS3 for $90. So that's what I did to get in. That's what I did to get into the gaming community, and I started gaming, multiplayer gaming, on the 360. And
what'd you play?
Call of Duty.
Nice.
What other one did I play? I don't remember, but
Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
You never played Gears of War, huh?
No, I didn't.
See, that one. See, that's where like the paradox happens, because Gears of War had a fucking because well, I mean, because you know how earlier we were talking about how games like had a good story or people only play for multiplayer. Yeah. Gears of War had both.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It had the story just fucking grabs you. The characters, you're like, holy shit, like.
Yeah, I've seen the gameplay on it, and it looks awesome.
Yeah. Even now, there's competitive Gears of War players.
Oh man, there's like teams.
Shit gets real.
It gets real. There's like every like other month, there's always like a competition. But like but that's what I'm saying. It's like Gears of War was one of the games that I mean, it's been way over 10 years now, dude. Like since like the first one. So, I mean, they had that, and I lost my train of thought, but like that, yeah. So I'm saying you take the great story, and then now you have this like awesome multiplayer that's like it's like championship levels across like the globe. Like it's just insane how you can have one game like that.
Yeah, but for some reason when I got into like multiplayer games, I wasn't really into it. Everybody was mean to me, but then again, I really suck at video games, and I still continue to play them. But it's just I love to game, and you know, like multiplayer honestly was never my thing. Yeah. But knowing how like story modes are kind of going downhill now because nobody really cares about the story anymore, and
no, you're wrong. No,
I'm hoping
that's right. Yeah, that's what
I'm hoping I'm wrong. But I feel like I can always count on Naughty Dog for that kind of thing. But Bethesda too. Doom is really good.
Doom is good.
But like knowing that multiplayer is pretty much like on the rise right now, I kind of want to get back into it, especially now that Darlene's has college classes Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for like 3 hours each day. Like I'm gonna have like
that free time
of me doing nothing. So I mean, I have games to play. I have the BioShock collection, I have the Uncharted collection, I have Zero Horizon Dawn, and that was a good one too.
Yes.
See, my the PS4 I used to play on, and I say that because I haven't played it in over a year.
Staring to the camera.
I haven't played that in like a year, but
I'm talking to you.
No, but I mean, like I haven't been able to play that. And one game that I'm looking forward to that supposedly is going to be a great story is the new Spider-Man game. Yeah, the gameplay looks fucking amazing. Like the mechanics of being able to just like be free with your fucking whip shooters, like just like ski dicks everywhere, like
bang bang,
ski. God damn it!
Just like coming everywhere, like like
fucking Tobey Maguire going crazy.
That would be awesome if they put like a cameo. Just like you're running through the dirt, you're webbing through the buildings and stuff like that, and he like has to go like to the ground, and he's like walking around looking for the bad guy, and you just see
someone walking like
no, but yeah, like
I have a feeling you like playing Overwatch. I have a feeling you would love it.
Or I see why, because the different elements of the characters.
Yeah,
I think you would invest your time into.
It would intrigue you.
I mean, like I personally don't like to play multiplayer, but I love watching it on YouTube. Like my brother posts videos. Eclipse Cipher.
69.
Not an ad. Just kidding.
Nugs just said multiplayer is scary as hell when you're a gamer noob.
It is.
It can be. It's intimidating, actually.
Even if you've been playing as long as I have. I mean, I haven't been playing like that long, but I have been playing for a couple of years. It's scary because I'm not used to playing multiplayer. So if I'm doing good in a game, like I was doing great in Call of Duty, the story mode, World War II, not at first because I had to get used to the controls again, but you know, after I got used to it, like I was good, like I was doing good. And then I feel like if I jump into multiplayer, there's going to be like everybody that's better than me, and I'm just gonna feel like that person that dies
especially for
first.
a game that on like Call of Duty,
where you know that they're playing that like worldwide, like
like it just released. Someone's already like 10 prestige. God damn,
dude, people invest their time like it's crazy. I don't know. Like, what would you say is like the last like multiplayer game that you like felt super invested to?
Gears of War. No, Overwatch. Overwatch for sure.
Overwatch.
I mean, Overwatch is so much fun. I mean, I'll have moments where it's like controller throwing moments, kind of times, but
rage,
just rage quitting or rage throwing the console. But it's so much fun, and it's so intriguing on how like different characters can beat out certain characters on how you play them skillfully and not just by their powers. Like, if you can throw rockets, that doesn't mean shit if you don't know how to use that character.
Right.
Yeah.
But I like Overwatch a lot, and Gears of War. I've been playing it with you guys for a while. I always love Gears of War.
The only thing they really gotta fix on those type of games are like microtransactions. Like, if you're gonna promise, if you're gonna tell me to buy this pack, that's what I want in that fucking pack. I don't want to fucking. I'm not fucking like buying the box and zombies, you know? Like, I don't want a fucking teddy bear to come out and I'm fucked in the ass. Like, I just want whatever you said that chest is fucking named. Like, if there's a freaking elite scion, give me the fucking elite scion.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I gotta grind for these credits. Like, give me the damn scion. Well, that's all I gotta say about like that. Like,
that's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on the microtransactions. I mean, I don't even play multiplayer, and that shit pissed me off. I didn't even buy Star Wars Battlefront because of that, and I don't even play multiplayer.
Well, see, that's where they got so much shit. Even Disney had to come in and be like, "Hey, motherfuckers, like, fix this." Like, all right, so we got a question on live. It's what kind of fuel snacks you guys go or do you get when you're gaming for hours?
Dr. Pepper.
Fucking Mountain Dew.
Which is weird because I rarely drink Mountain Dew, but when I do, it's like I just want a game.
Right. I think
the good thing about Mountain Dew is after you drink it, you become radioactive, so you don't even need the lights on.
Yeah.
For me, it's chips. I like salty snacks.
Like Lay's or something? Or like Fritos?
Fuck Fritos.
Who eats Fritos?
Dude, I can't
Are those still around?
If you eat Fritos, it's because nothing else was available.
Exactly. I can't eat more than like 1 or 2 chips of Fritos because it's just so salty.
Yeah.
And it leaves your like, it just feels like someone sanded the side of your cheeks.
Feels like your tongue is now a cat tongue or something.
It's like bags of sand.
They feel like bags of sand. A bag of sand.
Cheddar Ruffles.
I can't eat chips. I mean, like I will if I have them, but it's like I don't like it because I don't want to get like Cheeto dust on my remote.
You feel it, yeah.
Especially like, I don't know, just feeling already like disgusted.
No, I like.
You automatically start just like dusting up
like,
your fingers.
I'm like rubbing myself like
dusty. No, I like Cheddar Ruffles, and my favorite Pringles are the pizza ones right now. Yes. Pizza Pringles.
Oh my god!
I love getting a slice of them Pringles.
Meryl.
But honestly, when I game, like I hardly ever eat. I'll drink soda like crazy, but like I don't really eat much.
What do you think of Mr. Pibb?
I like it.
Or Pibb Extra.
Yeah, what do you think of Pibb Extra?
Yeah, I can have that. Don't give me Dr. Thunder though.
Mountain Breeze.
Anything other than Dr. Pepper or Mr. Pibb, like I can't.
Dr. Skipper.
You said Dr. Thunder?
Yeah, isn't there a Dr. Thunder? There's a Mr. Skipper too, isn't there?
I didn't know the Dr. Skipper.
Idea.
No, it was
Mr. Skipper, Dr. Thunder.
one of those.
Don't give me a Thunder.
Don't give me a Dr. Thunder.
Dr. Pepper and Mr. Pibb is where it's at for me. Like, I can handle Mr. Pibb. Like, I think it's so... Because Mr. Pibb is basically the same thing. There's no difference. So when I go to, like...
A little Tab.
I've never had Tab. When I go to, like, Carl's Jr. or any place that doesn't sell Dr. Pepper, but they sell Mr. Pibb, I'm just like, it's the same fucking thing. Who cares?
So you're okay with them saying, "Oh, is Mr. Pibb okay?"
Yeah.
But don't get Dr. Thunder. That just sounds like a really like old school porn name or something. Hey, it's Dr. Thunder.
Like from that
Coming
70s
at you
show.
live with this 12-inch dick.
It's Jerry Thunder.
Oh, from that 70s show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hot Dunno.
That was fucking booger.
It is booger. In terms of gaming right now, what are you guys playing? Like, what are you playing most, and what do you want to play next?
I'm playing Final Fantasy VIII right now and really loving it.
So you're going back to the older consoles.
Yeah, I have a.
Retro?
That's why I bought a Game Boy today. I'm like really retroing it up. Got a Game Boy, got a GameCube, got a PlayStation 1. Yeah, that's the one. Of course, I have my new gen consoles and everything. But it's just I'm just living in nostalgia right now. So there's that. I'm waiting for Last of Us 2, of course. Waiting for new Red Dead.
Dude, Red Dead's gonna be the shit.
Red Dead's gonna be fucking amazing, man. I might cry.
What's crazy is that like, there's still people who have never played it or like don't even know about it. We were at Game Dudes and this guy was like, just like, oh, like what can you recommend as PS3 games? And the guy's like, oh yeah, you know, we got this, we got that, we got Grand Theft Auto, Infamous.
Give me the Legend of Zelda.
All right. No, is it? I just said Infamous. Is it pronounced Infamous or Infamous?
It's infamous.
Because I read it all freaking all Three Amigos all Infamous. Infamous.
Dude, I haven't seen that movie in years, and I just got it for my dad for Christmas.
Yes, that's a good movie. But anyways, yeah, like he was like buying all those games, right? Like what else? Killzone. He was buying those games. So he asked him like, "Have you ever played Red Dead?" And he's like, "Nah. Like, what is that?" He's like, "Oh, do you like Grand Theft Auto? Do you like open world?" He's like, "Yeah, like that stuff." He's like, "Well, these are the same creators, basically, but you know," he was just giving his whole spiel of like of why you should get it, and it was crazy because I was literally talking to him about the new one, how like that's one of the most anticipated games ever.
Yeah, I can tell.
Forever.
It's just so badass, man. Like, who doesn't want to be a cowboy?
I haven't even seen the gameplay on it, but once I saw that they were coming out with the second one, like I got curious and I wanted to, but I still haven't watched any gameplay on it. But I'm hoping that the company who made that game re-releases it for the PS4. That would be a smart move on them because you know people are gonna buy it.
Oh, of course. And they have it backwards compatibility on Xbox One.
Yeah. But I don't have one.
No, but I don't know. I honestly don't know if PlayStation has it on their shop.
They don't. I tried. Or unless they do, and I just am an idiot. But
you missed it.
Yeah, but that would be a smart move on them to do that because not only would people who never got to play it before, but you know people are gonna buy it even if they have played it a million times. If it's that good a game, people are gonna buy it, you know. And it's kind of like how it is with Doom coming out on the Nintendo Switch. Like, yeah, it's been out on the PS4 and wherever else it's been out on forever, but the fact that it's portable now,
same thing with L.A. Noire.
Yeah, people are gonna buy it, which I think is a really smart move on anybody who third-party companies doing that. But they should release Red Dead Redemption again, like a remastered version.
Yes, completely agree.
And I would definitely get it, and I would play that.
Which brings me to something that we were talking about earlier, how you said these games are portable now, you can take them anywhere. I find it a little like, I find it kind of like bullshit that Nintendo makes you buy something on Virtual Console, but even though you use the same email to register all your devices, you can't transfer them over.
You can't.
Which is something that's like really, I think one of the reasons a lot of people back out of buying Nintendo, just because like I paid like $20 for Ocarina of Time, but I can't, and for on my Wii, but I can't play it on my Wii U.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Exactly.
When it comes to stuff like that, they fuck up a lot. Nintendo. Trying to think of how I could word this. It's kind of like how it is with the Switch right now. On the Switch, you have to have a Nintendo account if you want to put your games on there. Because when I got the Nintendo Switch, I got it from Vicky's brother.
Yeah.
And it had his account on there. So when I played Breath of the Wild for the first time, I played it all on his
account.
Thing. Yeah, on his account. And I didn't realize that. I didn't realize I had to have my own account. So I made my own account and I deleted his. And all my progress was gone. And so I had to start over. And I was like mid-game too.
Fuck that.
Yeah. But, yeah. I noticed too because I have like my account on there and I have a guest account for like if my nephews and stuff want, like if I take it to my mom's house, my nephews can play it. But the games that I bought online on there, like Mighty Gun Volt Burst,
DuckTales.
I have Mighty Gun Volt Burst on there right now. I have Master Blaster Zero.
I'll give you a Master Blaster.
Fucking crap. But yeah, like I have some indie games. I have Shovel Knight on there, and I noticed that like if my nephews wanted to play those games but they were on my guest account, those games wouldn't be on there.
Be on there, yeah.
Yeah, and you have to have your Nintendo bless you. Gesundheit. You have to have your account on there, and say
Master Blaster sounds like a pleasure toy.
Who said that?
I think I said it wrong. It's Blaster Master, I think.
Either that one sounds just as bad.
It's worse. It's so much worse.
God damn it,
yeah.
disease.
It's just like one of the YouTubers I follow too, he has a Nintendo Switch and he got his son a Nintendo Switch so he could have his own.
Right.
And so he tried to put his account on both and it wouldn't let him do it.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So he had to rebuy those games for his son to play, which I think is kind of fucked up because PlayStation lets you do that.
Yeah.
And that's how my brother has it. He doesn't have his, I think he has his own account, or he shares with his cousin too, and they can play the games, and it's no problem.
Like me and my cousin Gray, and then and me and Necrotic, we both we can what's the freaking word? Game share.
Yeah.
Basically, we just pay half to each other, and
Yeah.
and I think Nintendo needs to jump on that bandwagon instead of giving these weird freaking like cardboard things. Like, let us transfer our games. Let us share our games. Like, you're always talking about like playing together. Like, well, this is how.
Yeah. I mean.
Share the joy. Joy-Cons. Like, come on.
Sometimes those Joy-Cons, I just want
to squeeze them.
You know, just yeah, but they're killing it right now. I think Nintendo's killing it right now. The Nintendo Labo thing with the cardboard. I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, this looks interesting, but honestly, probably wouldn't get it. But then I saw the robot, and I was like, okay, yeah, definitely gonna get that. And
he's legit just over there playing Pokemon.
No.
We haven't heard from him in a while.
Over like 10 minutes, he's just over there.
I know.
Choosing Pikachu.
I'm just saying, like, it was a nice change to see Nintendo come back from the Wii U.
Which a lot of people thought that was gonna be like their end.
Yeah, a lot of people did, but then they came out with the Amiibos, which kind of saved them. You know, they were selling those like hotcakes.
Yeah, and I think like things like that, and then like how that he has like the little World of Nintendo figures.
Yeah,
I think that's I don't think they will ever sign a deal with Funko, which is sad, because Funko people would go ape shit.
Oh yeah, they would
for a Mario Pop or something like that.
Fuck me up, Zelda Pop.
For real, like I want that in my life, but I know we'll never get it.
Yeah. I'm okay with that though, because we have Nintendoids.
What? What?
There he is. No, yeah, the Wii U, I wanted the Wii U, but then I talked to you about it, and you were like, honestly, the only reason I got this was the remake for Wind Waker, and that's why I wanted to get it.
Well, I got it because they kept promising us Breath of the Wild, well, a new Zelda title, but it never came out.
Yeah.
Or the new Star Fox title, and it was like...
I haven't played Star Fox. I have the game too, but I haven't played it.
Star Fox 64?
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the best.
I haven't played it. I mean, we had it when we were kids, but I think my brothers were like not that into it because they were like Zelda, you know. But I got it at GameStop for cheap, and I started playing it, but then I think Mario Odyssey came out and I got hooked on that, you know. But yeah, the Wii U, the only reason why I wanted it was because of Wind Waker, and then you told me all that other stuff about those games that never came out because, you know, all the gaming companies were pulling out because they saw that it wasn't selling well
at all.
Yeah, and
it took so long to get like third-party licenses.
Yeah.
Like we got Black Flag like at the end of its life.
Yeah. So that's why I didn't buy it. You know? And then the Wii was just like they didn't really have anything that gamers wanted to play except for like Mario Galaxy, and everything else was like family games, which is what they catered to. Like like Nintendo has always been like the family based, yeah. And now that they came out, then the Wii U failed, and the things that were keeping them afloat was the 3DS, and then they came out with the Amiibos, and then all the other stuff that you were talking about. And then the Nintendo came out, and that started selling because of Zelda and like all the other games that were going to be coming out for it. But then Bethesda announced that they were coming out with Doom. So now all these other third-party companies are jumping on. So it's nice to see them get out of their element and into like hardcore gaming stuff.
Yeah, it's just like well, no, you're getting Skyrim too. So
yeah.
What?
Yeah. Did you catch any Pokemon yet?
Pikachu.
Sweet. I think Nintendo needs to up their game on their exclusives. I think they need to cater more. I mean, yes, you have a large child base audience, but I mean, like it's not the children buying the games.
It's not.
It's not like you've had customers for years. Like we've been loyal to you. Like cater to us.
Yeah, and we kind of got that with the Nintendo Switch because it is really great, in my opinion. I love that I can go to work and just have it in my backpack. You know, like Doom's right there and LA Noire is right there when I'm ready to play it, and you know all those other games and Street Fighter. Like I don't have. Like, my nephews have a PS4, but they can't take that everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, my brother has
the Vita.
Yeah. My brother has the PS4 too, but he can't. He takes it back and forth to his parents' house. And the Nintendo Switch it's a portable. It's both. It's a hybrid, and it's awesome. And that's what Nintendo is known for too. They push the boundaries with things. They did it with the Wii. They even did it with the 64, right? They were the first ones to have a
Rumble Pack.
A Rumble Pack and joystick, right?
Were they? I mean, Atari, if you count like Atari, ColecoVision, and all that stuff. But I mean, to have a full-on remote with multiple buttons and joysticks, I think,
yeah. And they've always been known to like push.
And to this day, we still do not know how to hold one.
Retro Fighters is actually coming out with a new control for the Nintendo 64 where it's going to be more modern, and it's not going to have the 3 handles on them. And
because we read something today when we were at the store, and then there was a sign that said third-party controllers are not like recommended for first-person shooters. So if you're gonna play like GoldenEye or something, like don't get the third-party controllers. Yeah,
it hasn't come out yet, but they came out with a modern control. Retro Fighters came out with a modern controller for the NES, so it has the joystick and still has the D-pad and you know all of that, but it has a joystick for the NES, which I thought was pretty cool. and now they're making one for the Nintendo 64, so it's not stupid. And it's stupid. I'm sorry to say it. I mean, I love the Nintendo 64 and like it's all nostalgic for me, but like holding it, like it makes no sense. You hold it from the one in the middle and the one on the right side. You don't hold the left ones really.
Yeah.
Ever.
Because and a lot of the majority of the games, you don't need the D-pad.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, after they came out with the Nintendo 64, they came out with the GameCube, which, I mean, they didn't really do anything special there.
I really enjoyed the GameCube.
I mean, I really enjoyed the GameCube, too. Yeah, it was awesome, but, like, it wasn't anything that was, like, new and fresh or anything like that. Then they came out with the Wii, and they had motion control.
They moved the Z button up.
Yeah,
it's right above the trigger.
Right. That's what started RB.
RB and LB.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had motion control, so it wasn't like you were just pressing buttons. You can actually swing your sword, even though you were just like, you know,
just
moving your hand. Yeah.
Jerking off
And then and then the Wii U was pretty much like a tester for the Nintendo Switch. I mean, they came out with the little tablet thing that they have, but you couldn't go more than like 10 feet.
Yeah, like I would always like I had my Wii set up in the living room, and like if I had to go take a shit, like it would cut off. Like if I close the door,
oh man,
because the signal would cut off.
Your mom walks by and like your door's wide open. I'm almost there.
Just hold on.
No, Granny, don't.
But yeah,
hurry up.
with the Wii, or not the Wii, the Nintendo Switch, you pretty much get all of it. It's portable. You can play it on the crapper. You can.
Okay.
You still get the motion control.
So it's suitable for me.
You still have motion control. You can take the Joy-Cons off.
You know what's funny though? It's like that's one of the ways Nintendo actually advertised their Wavebird remote for the GameCube. If you remember that, there was an ad where it was a dude on the toilet, and he was using a mirror to watch the screen that he was playing. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was an awesome ad. I saw it like by a bus stop.
Carlos is like amazed by that ad. Best ad I've ever seen.
Dude, I love me a poop joke. Like it's relatable. I'm constantly shitting. Someone's gonna like listen to this and be like, "You need to go see a doctor if you're constantly shitting.
You need help.
You might have colitis." Crohn's.
What games are you guys mostly anticipating for this year?
For this year?
That we know of so far.
For this year.
For me right now, it's Spider-Man.
Yes, that's actually one of them, yes. But the thing is like I said, I rarely play my PS4 anymore.
Yeah.
So for me, it would have to be something. It would have to be something exclusive, like that's Xbox exclusive, or it's cross-platform. So I think for me, I think I'm just waiting to see an announcement for the date.
I don't really have anything that I'm stoked about. I'm like content playing my retros right now.
Which is like something like obviously like I play the Xbox to play Players Unknown and Fortnite with friends, but there hasn't been a game since World War II. I think that
was really a good game. I mean, I know
it was a really good game.
Might not like it, but story was really dope. Multiplayer is really good. But I'm surprised over the story on World War II. I didn't expect that much from a Call of Duty game.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I'll give it another shot. I'll give him like another shot.
It was cool. Yeah, that's I get the retro gaming thing. That's why I like retro games too. Is just because like since I'm mostly story based, I love story based, as I've said. I can always like when I finished Zero Horizon Dawn, I didn't have a game to play really, so I went back to my retro games. I have the NES, I have the SNES Classic, and then a bunch of other stuff. So I can always go back to those.
All right, guys. So this was another episode of the Nerd Squad podcast, and I know it was a long one. It was a lot of rambling, but we got a lot of thoughts out there, and we want to share them with you. We want to know how you feel, so make sure you guys follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. It's Nerd Squad, NERDSKWAD. And Gio?
Once again, my name is Gio, aka Raptor.
And I'm Crazy Old Maurice.
I am Ghost. You guys know.
Marissa, thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully
Thank
we
you
see
so
you again
much.
soon.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Skwaad out.
Sorry for rambling.
Skwaad.
Is this how?